hapa nyuma.
My name is Mauritius Odor. I am a journalist by profession. I've been in this industry for 14 years now. Of course, deep in my mind, I knew that we were going to the danger zone and anything could happen. So immediately we were taken inside the APC, and the convoy of more than 60 vehicles started from Liboi. And then when we crossed to Somalia, we were told that now from here, this is the border. This is the border of Kenya and Somalia. We are inside the territory of the enemy.
Here I'm holding 20 rounds in this magazine. Here I'm holding 40, this way 40, altogether this 100 rounds. Together this one, this belt has 150 rounds.
Enough to fight?
Enough to fight. As per me, enough to fight. Because only one round, one Al-Shabaab. The enemy, the Al-Shabaab, they are all over here. Anytime you can be shot.
First of all, you are anxious to know how that curiosity, how is it to cover war? There was no road. The vehicles were just moving through the bush, through the thicket, and surprisingly, it took us more than 12 hours to get to Tabda. So when we got to Tabda, it was 6 p.m. We were received by the commanding officer in the central sector, Major, at that time was Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Nyaga.
The issue is not rushing the operation, but ensuring that the areas that have been liberated, normalcy is restored, pacification operation is undertaken to ensure that things like relief, the NGOs and other agencies can come down here and assist people.
Immediately after we had taken our meal, a call came in from the spokesman of the enemy. The Al-Shabaab spokesman called, and actually the commanding officer told us, please come and listen what they will say. That guy said that I've seen that you have brought the crew just to make propaganda for you, but we will be there to give you the true story. So at that time is now when the reality got into my mind that actually we are dealing with an enemy that have the guts to call the commander of the Kenya Defense Forces, who is leading the operation in the central sector. So true to their words, in the middle of the night, around 11, they came into the camp. They started firing. They started with an RPG. The rocket-propelled grenade from all directions, coming outside the defensive positions. They were firing coming inside the camp.
Kundi lingine la zaidi ya wanamgambo 200 lilitekeleza mashambulizi katika kambi ya KDF katika mji wa Beles Kokani.
So at that time we were actually inside the bunker. We had been separated. I was in one of the bunker. My colleague Franklin Masharia was in the other bunker. The technical crew, Ndegwa and Kimeli Arab Kemei, were in the different bunker. So At that time is when now we realize that actually we are dealing with an enemy who does not fear anything. And it ended 2 a.m. And I remember at the bunker where I was, there was the military officers who were specifically in charge of the artillery fire. They were like 5 meters away from me, so I could be able to capture them firing the artillery and the firepower to counter the enemy. When we were exchanging ideas with my colleagues, some say they did not sleep. I mean, some were fearing for their life. One of my colleagues, Afande, was sweating. Then they told us not to panic. That's how the enemy operates. But at 10, the spokesman called again. They used to call through the Somali National Army. So they called again, and they were saying that that attack during the night was just a testing. That attack during the night was just testing, and they would launch more and more attack.
Ni makabiliano makali huku wanajeshi wa Kenya wakipambana na wanamgambo wa kundi la Al-Shabaab ambao walikuwa wamejaribu kuvamia kambi ya KDF katika eneo la Tabda nchini Somalia.
We were in Somalia for 30 days, and every day, nearly every day we were attacked.
Ilitubidi tuingie kwenye maandaki kukwepa kupatikana na risasi kutoka kwa wanamgambo hao. Saa moja tu baada ya Tabda kushambuliwa, kundi lingine la zaidi ya wanamgambo 200 lilitekeleza mashambulizi katika kambi ya KDF katika mji wa Beles Kokani.
During the night it was a must. During the day we would have a 5-minute probing attack. It's called probing attack. They just come firing for 5 minutes, then they disappear.
You know, the Al-Shabaab, they are not making that frontal war. They always beat us on, as in ambush. They make ambushes on us. That's why you see, time like this, we have to be alert, always to be alert.
Probing attack always used to happen between 2 p.m. up to 6 p.m. They will come, they will just send small boys just to go and test the firepower. They'll send maybe 5 or 3 guys just to go and test this camp. So when they come, they get killed. They fire, but they get killed. But the major attack, they used to happen at night. Okay, before that attack, the previous night I had a dream, and this dream is, I dreamt that these enemies, they had captured us and they had put us into the OB crew, and they told us, now you can call your commander if you can right now, because we are now in charge and we have you in custody. So in the morning when I shared that dream with my colleague, one of my colleague called Kimeli, he said, no, he's not going with us, because I remember that morning we were supposed to go to Beles Kokani. There was a convoy of the military that was supposed to go to Beles Kokani to supply more ammunition to our military officers who were in the camp in Beles Kokani. that was 46 kilometers away. But now one of my colleagues, after hearing that dream, he refused to go. So we were left with, I was left with Franklin Macharia to decide whether do we go or we stay. But because we were told by the commanding officer that the convoy was supposed to go and come back, we can just go and come back. But we had these warnings that the enemy were planning attacks along the way. So first of all, we went inside the first APC, and then something told me, no. When you're coming from Kenya, we were inside the APC that was the first APC. So we changed mind, we went for the fourth one in that convoy, so we were inside the fourth vehicle. Then we just say, okay, let us just go. Along the way, there was just some butterflies, and something just kept on telling me, things are not right, things are not right, things are not right. So we went and found a very big hall that was a result of the IED which exploded some weeks before. So we were shown that, but I mean, we continue with our journey. We got to a point where the first vehicle, there was a convoy commander, was a small boy, a 24-year-old boy. Then he stopped. So all of us, we had stopped. So I saw him jumping out of that APC with his gun, and he went down just to survey the area, and then he went back. But the mood was like we were actually inside the enemy trap, and that was the feeling. And actually, true to our conscience, when the convoy commander called the radio and said it's clear we can move, that vehicle only moved for about 10 meters, and then sure, we just saw the explosion. It was hit by the IED, the vehicle went up, big smoke, and then it came down. So at that moment, we had bullets from every direction. Our vehicle was being fired by rocket-propelled grenades, bullets from the PKM, AK-47, and every type of weapon they had. So it was intense and very heavy.
Hivi ndivyo hali ilivyokuwa.
Initially, I had forgotten that I'm a journalist. So after we had bullets firing on our car, I realized I had a camera here. So then I started recording. So I wanted just to record something that I could capture at that moment. So we could hear the bullets as they were hitting the vehicle. And then after that, an RPG came and hit at the side where my colleague was, that side. It hit that side, then the vehicle moved, and then it went back. So the driver was trying to move, because you need to drive that vehicle so that the enemy cannot fire the RPG at the same spot of that glass.
Instantly assessing the positions of the Al-Shabaab attackers and firing back. The army men ordering our journalist Franklin Macharia to lie low as they fired back. All this time, our cameraman Mauritius Odwar having the presence of mind to capture the action on camera.
At that point, he was sweating, because everyone, we knew that actually we were dying. So it was really intense. He was really afraid. I could see fear on his face. So that's the time I realized just to record him. He was really sweating and he was not even speaking anything. We started talking about that thing after we had gone back to the camp, because there's nothing you could speak, because all of us, we had seen what had happened. We had seen everything that has transpired. We lost one soldier. There was a friend of ours called Ngetich. Unfortunately, they fired an 84mm anti-tank, so it penetrated the Panhard vehicle and it hit him at the pelvic. So we lost him. It was very unfortunate, because we had just taken breakfast with him. All of us, we were very angry. But 20 minutes after that, we saw the air power. Now we saw the helicopters, the YY helicopters came and started firing the enemy from above. So at that time, at least we managed to neutralize the enemy. Nearly all of them were killed. So the helicopters went back to the camp. So there was reinforcement that was coming from Tabda. We decided not to proceed with our journey, but we went back with this reinforcement that had come. So we went back because I told Franklin Macharia, now that at least we have a story here and we have something, let us just go back and file the story. So we went back to the camp and informed our colleague Kimeli, who was there, and he was very sorry for us, but everyone was sad that day because we had lost one soldier. In the battlefield is much worse and much. You can imagine you are fighting with an enemy that's not going away. He's there. You're fighting from 9 p.m., 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, up to 3 a.m. Fighting for 5, 6, more than 6 hours non-stop. You see, much of the revenue collected by the Al-Shabaab was from the businesses in Kismayo, be it charcoal businesses, be it local businesses, be it fishing. So they were having that revenue collected, and considering that the Kismayo is the biggest city in the southern, the Jubaland, so they were getting that much revenue from that city. And you see, the funds they get is what funded the operations and the terror networks. So it was very significant for the KDF to capture that town. I remember during that night, the Al-Shabaab had put they had put their defensive positions on the roads that were getting into the Kismayo, but the KDF landed through the ocean at night, so they were caught off guard. So by the time they realized that the KDF were coming from the ocean, they could not even fight them. They started firing, but they were overpowered. So that's how they were removed from Kismayo port. I have been in Somalia. I have seen the war. I have seen the operation. I have seen the kind of work that the soldiers have done. I can see the kind of work that is yet to be done, because that country, if we don't do anything right now, I'm telling you, it will still go back to the same situation.
Hapa nyuma